So we're just coming up to the end of the seafront here on our little trip to Brixham. And up there on my left-hand side, on my right-hand side, you have a new hotel that's going up. So people have moaned about new developments. And that place is going to have nice sea views. But, you have to move forward, don't you? The place that was there before was unremarkable. It just looked tatty. Wasn't particularly old or anything like that. But Torquay, Paignton and Brixham, which form the English Riviera, they've had a bit of investment. So the Strand, which is sort of the harbour side of Torquay, has been completely redeveloped and looks good. But, there's this contingent of people that aren't happy unless they are moaning, and they're also desperate to be offended as well. So I kind of feel sorry for them, really. But we're just pulling down into Paignton right now. And Paignton's got some nice new hotels on the seafront. The hotels that were there before were basically just eyesores. They were old, but they weren't of any architectural note. I mean, I think a lot of people think that if you have an old building, it needs to be protected. But, not everything that was built in the Victorian sort of Edwardian era is noteworthy. It's like, some modern buildings that are built today are noteworthy, and architecturally, they're important, but not all of them are. And that's the same for Victorian and Edwardian England. Not everything is worth saving. It really isn't. Some of it's poor and shabby. But we'll see the hotels in a minute. And here we are. That's Preston seafront. And there you get a glimpse of the beach huts, and beyond that is a lovely sandy beach that gently shelves. And it's very, very popular. It's a little bit quieter than the main beach, which we'll drive past shortly. But we're just going to come up to the Red Cliff Hotel. Now, the Red Cliff Hotel was owned by the Singer family. So the Singer family were a big American family that came over to the UK. But if you think of anything Singer before it, like Singer sewing machines and even cars at one point, Singer cars. But they made all sorts of things, and they were basically Paignton. They also owned Oldway Hall, Oldway Manor, and it was just called Oldway, and they donated that to Paignton. But there we have it, the Red Cliff Hotel. That used to be a Singer residence, and in fact the Singer family even had an airstrip installed where they'd land their biplanes and the like. So on my left-hand side, you'll see lots of fans. There's an ambulance there. Nothing's going on. It's just that that probably could be St John's ambulance, actually, but there's obviously something going on there, some show, because there's lots of stalls that have been set up, and that's Paignton Green. I have a circus there, usually a couple of times a year. There's more hotels on my right-hand side. And up ahead, there's a fun fair. It's only a small fun fair. You should get a bigger one in the summer. And also on my right-hand side, there is the Palace Hotel. It's quite a big hotel. It's 3-star. It's got nice views and everything. It's got nice grounds. I think it's got quite a lot of facilities inside. But here, the Inn on the Green, that's derelict. So that's going to be redeveloped. But we have the Ibis Styles Hotel there. And then we also have next to it a Mercure Hotel. Those are 2 brand new hotels. So that's quite a lot of money has been put into Paignton seafront. Naturally, people have moaned about that. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that things move on. And on my left here, you just have a quick glimpse of the fun fair, and then you'll also get the Costero Lounge, which has been redeveloped. That was a Harvester, which shut down. And also there's a carousel. That's nothing to do with the fair. That's going to be a permanent fixture. On my right-hand side, as we come up here, you'll see a large pub called the Spinning Wheel, sort of family orientated. You know, don't just park your airs and graces. And that's a Hyde Dendy. Same there. You'll get a, you know, they've got lots going on there. There's always loads and loads of people. And there's a View Cinema as well. So you've got all of that right there on the seafront. It's not bad, really. Anyway, we're just going to drive her. There's a crazy golf just on my left-hand side as well. We're just going to get up to this roundabout.